Well, today we're going to talk about a typical day as a service technician back in 1987. You want to hear something unique? We wear shorts. Believe it or not, shorts. Matter of fact, here's an image of a shorts. Skinny lace, but hey, that was back in the days. You allowed to wear shorts. Working with sewer line under houses and wearing shorts all year long. I went through that, so I don't know if I recommend it today, but I have this baby face back in the days. I'd always have to tell people, yes, I've been doing it for 5 years. It was really difficult overcoming because I did look like a little kid, like I was 17, and that was a challenge, but guess what? That was also something that you had to overcome. And also communication, that was a little difficult for me back in the days, but just go to the call. It usually takes about an hour, hour and a half because most people got lost on the way. There was no GPS, so navigating, it was a challenge. Back in the days, it was a Thomas guy. That was our navigation, that was our GPS. There was no cell phones. No cell phones means CB radio, you know, like the two-way radio, like the police used for many years. That was our way of communication. So 10-4, 10-8, 601, 10-7, all those codes, guess what? We learned it because that was our communication. And just to use the phone, we had to get out of the freeway just to look for a payphone. Getting to the house, that was a journey on its own already because a lot of people, it was difficult for navigating. You had to know which freeway goes what direction because freeways, it was the quickest way to get there. And first thing you had to know how the freeways goes from north to south, east to west, where across. And so here's one, freeways 405, you had to always navigate. This is our GPS, so that was our saying, oh, I'm in West LA, and you want to hear something? We used to go from the valley all the way to South Orange County, and guess what? We did not complain. I'm not saying you guys complain, but for us perspective is whatever is work, we just happen to have a job. I'm not saying that's okay or not okay. I'm just saying that's what it was. Something also unique, that was me. This big old root came out of a sewer line, and this customer was nice enough to take a picture because back in the days, there was no phones or nothing. So guess what? She took a picture, she delivered, and she emailed it because she was impressed with that root that came out of there. And guess what? It was a big hole, probably I think it was 7 feet, one person digging. So this is sewer lines on the street. We had to dig on the street, and that's a typical job. We had to dig by hand. It's all hand digging. For me, replacing a sewer line, I had to dig 2 days just to dig the sewer line. 1 day to put it, another day or two to cover. So guess what? Sewer line, it was like a 3 to 5 days project, and it was a hard work because it's all hand digging. Obviously, then 2000, trench sewer came in. Matter of fact, Power Pro, it was the second company that did trenchless in this Southern California. So we started doing trenches all the way back to 2000. Oh, you want to hear something else? Learning, there was no YouTube. Sometimes you had to pretend you know what you were doing. You had to take it apart, you put it back, but there was no YouTube where you go back and see. YouTube, man, that changed the game because now you can always go and see how things get done. Back then, you had to learn almost like you learn it as you do it, learn on the job. Oh, hopefully somebody will help you. So digging, yes, 3-4 days sewer line, shores, navigation, traffic. That was a typical day. And yes, a lot of times communication from customers, especially for me, I had limitations in my communication. So for me, it was difficult, big, young, and having a hard time communicating. But guess what? I always want people to remember that after 40 years, I still have the same passion, the same desire to serve and help people, but also to help people on the trade. So trades, it's a good way to make a living. If it feels, it serves. So if you're thinking about the trades, especially today, a lot of people are more open to the trades. Back then, it was, you go to school, you go to the trades. I think today that changed. Now perception is different. Service is a career. Home service, it's always, people always need. So, hey, trades, it's a career, it's a profession. All right, that's it for today.